Cobra Channel is preferred channel for terrorist organization known as Cobra. Sean cracks me up.
Cobra. Yeah. G.I. Joe was a great show. Looks like we're starting here. We got a 10-second countdown with the fun.
Happy Wednesday.
Welcome.
Happy
Wednesday.
Yeah, man. It's Wednesday, the 14th of 2026. It's your pal D, your boy Goo, and our friend Austin. Let's do me a favor, Austin. I don't want to butcher the last name. Pronounce your last name for me.
Last name is Luevano. So Luevano or Lovano, either or. It's not really correct pronunciation per se.
So it's L&H Exterior. And where are you based out of?
Based out of Kansas City, Missouri.
KC Mo in the house. Well, it's good to see you, brother.
In the home and the L&H. What's the H come from?
So the L and the H is, the L is for Luevano, my last name, and the H is for Henan. That was my old business partner. We started the business together. And then he kind of just wanted some stability, which obviously a small startup business can't provide exactly. And so he ended up using his degree that he just got. He went into the world of finance.
Nice. Stocks and bonds.
Yes, sir. It was a good breakup, a necessary breakup.
Well, yeah. It's hard. Sometimes partnerships can be hard because there's a lot of responsibilities that need to be split. And in the cleaning business, you got people who want to wash, people who aren't, they're more focused on setting up the appointment. Sometimes you can butt heads, but somebody with a degree in finance can definitely not get dirty anymore. That's,
yeah.
Have you gone to college at all?
I did part-time while I was working as a welder. This is before I was cleaning windows. But I never finished up. I decided to start my business instead.
Cool. No regrets?
No regrets. No regrets yet.
No regrets. And I'll tell you one thing. One of the reasons why I had you on too, Austin, is I met you in 2023, I want to say, or is it 2024? Was it
24 in Nashville?
24. So 2024, I'm like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to introduce myself to people. I'm trying to get some recordings with some window cleaners and with some of the events people. And I see this young man at the bar, right? And I've had so many interactions with all these people. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm just exhausted. I need some alone time. And I sit down at the bar and there's this young buck over there. And he just starts chatting it up. And he's got this big old shit-eating grin on himself. He's having a good old time. And I'm like, this guy must be like somebody's kid or like, I don't know. He's like real young. Like whatever he's doing, he has the badge on. Like he's good to go. So I know he's there for the convention. And he's busting chops at the bartender. Like you can tell the bartender's probably already carded him like twice or whatever the deal was. Rolling with it, dude. And he's having a good time. And so I start chopping it up with him and this other dude from Colorado. And he starts kind of telling me his story. And he's like, yeah, I got this business and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, damn, dog, like how? And this is pre-beard. This is pre-beard. So this is pre-beard. So he definitely looked younger. And he had all sorts of answers for me, bro. Like everything I had a question for, he had an answer. Wasn't like nervous, wasn't like anxious. Like he was having a good old time. I don't know if he was a couple pops in or whatever, but he handled himself like awesome. And it was awesome to see somebody so young in the game taking advantage of something as great as the Huge in meeting all these new people. What is your favorite part about attending events like the Huge or the IWCA or something like that? And have you been to the IWCA?
I haven't been to the IWCA. I've been meaning to get out there. It's just, it's a big expense, like anything else, especially in the off season. I think it's in February, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, it's in 4 weeks from Saturday, something like that. So,
yeah,
it's around the corner.
Yeah, I'd love to go. Probably next year I'll end up going, but my favorite part is definitely the networking. And it's funny that you bring up that came off as confident, had all the answers in the world. It's kind of one thing I've learned in business is you just fake it till you make it. I think everybody kind of started their business in the same way. They got some tools and started cleaning windows, and they probably told their customers they were professional at window cleaning, even though they'd never cleaned a window before in their life. That's what business is you tell someone you're a professional until you actually become a professional.
Yeah, man. And I really enjoyed not only that conversation, but kind of like watching you from afar. We've kind of communicated a little bit on Facebook, but not a ton. But the second I bumped into you last year at the Huge 2, right?
Yeah.
And like it was like, hey man, what up, dog? How you been? Like, and it's just, it's so weird that you can connect with somebody for such a short period of time and then continue to kind of like follow them through the Facebook pages and through like that and see their progression and see their growth. And I'm stoked for you. You had a lot of growth this past year in 2025. I mean, you grew some beard. You also you got married, right?
I did get married. That's in October.
You didn't say I had to get married. You said
No, I did get married.
Right? Okay.
Does your wife like
So
the beard? Does she enjoy the facial hair?
My wife, she was the one who encouraged me to grow it, actually. I had convinced myself in my mind that I couldn't grow one, so I never did. And then finally she asked me, she's like, can you just try it for a few weeks? And I was like, all right. So I actually let it grow, and I tried to trim it up every once in a while. And then, after a few weeks, it started not looking so bad. So I was like, all right, I might as well keep it. And she likes it. She likes it a lot.
Past the whiskers stage. I did that last year for November, for No Shave November. So I grew everything out, and I was like hideous on the sides. Couldn't do much, so I just rock in the front.
It still doesn't grow in some places, but it's not horrible, I think.
No, it looks good. You look good.
Thank you.
Yo, your boy Steve-O popped in. He said, Austin claims I'm dead.
I love Steve-O. I miss that guy. I wish he was here. I wish he could watch the stream with us, but
he's all R.I.P. Steve-O. Apparently he's alive and well because he's in the chat. So
can we get some R.I.Ps in the chat for Steve-O?
Condolences.
Hilarious.
Send some flowers.
So what is it like when you're out there networking with some of the guys that you enjoy watching, enjoy hanging out with, or enjoy communicating with, like a Steve-O or like a Jersey or anybody else that you bumped along the way?
I've bumped into some guys in Kansas City here, and I believe in the friendly competition. There's plenty of windows to go around, which I've learned. When I first started the business, it was like, oh, I got to stay away from the competition. Those guys are my enemies. And now I know a lot of the window cleaners here in Kansas City and power washers, and I get lunch with guys frequently. We text. It's easy to make friends in this industry.
And it's nice to have those guys too, right? Because if you're ever stuck in a jam, you kind of need a little help. And you don't want to send somebody that you might want to, as a referral of yours or somebody that to a bum. So it's nice to be able to send some guys off to someone else. I know we have another one of our watchers and friends, Charles D. Smith. He's recently started his business, and he's out in Kansas City, Missouri, too, I believe. Oh, there you are. There we go. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. My.
Uh-oh. And he's gone.
Is Jason out?
Yeah,
Jason's
I see in the comments.
Craig. He'll be right back. Yeah,
Craig said
Craig.
apprentice to master.
And
To imply to fake it until you make it theory to other areas of life like karate or ballet. Craig, I'll have to pick up some ballet for you.
Yeah, ballet, you can just spin. I mean, nowadays, actually, you can call yourself whatever and still get away with it, or you used to anyway. But so with your market, do you have a lot of, like, I'm in the Houston market, similar to the Florida market. We have a lot of people who are really cheap. Like, I deal with a lot of landscapers, at least for pressure washing. Window cleaning is a whole different area because there's only a few people who actually clean windows. But do you find it interesting, or do you find it like a stumbling block having people who try to just go with the lowest price possible and stuff like that?
I think you'll get those answers anywhere that the market is oversaturated and there's cheap guys all around me. But Kansas City, I don't really come across too many of them. It's not a problem I run into.
Okay.
I think it's all about how you run your business. You got to find where you're profitable. A lot of guys want to be making $200, $300, sometimes even $400 an hour. That's cool. That's awesome. But I don't think that's a realistically sustainable business, especially if you're trying to go past solo operator. There's a lot of solo operators in my city that are every single day clocking 7 or 8 hours a day at $200+ an hour. And that's awesome. That tells me right that the market isn't oversaturated. But I don't think you're going to get millions of dollars of business going after those crazy high rates.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
yeah, I mean, professionalism, it's where you set yourself up as, what
Yeah.
customers perceive you as, is whether you're the professional, you're the chuck in a truck, you're the bucket Bob. I had a lady who emailed me 2 days ago wanting the side of her house washed and then like a gutter downspout cleaned up. So I already knew based on her next door profile and stuff that she was probably not a target customer. I sent her the estimate, and as clockwork, as expected, the next morning, I kind of nudged her back like, "Hey, sent the estimate. How's everything going? Do you want to move forward? Do you have any questions?" And she's like, "Well, it seems a little high for just cleaning the mildew off the side of my house." I completely understand that. Thank you so much for inquiring with Mr. Deeds. Have a wonderful day. Thank you and good luck. And she was probably looking for the landscaper with a pressure washer to do it for like $60.
Right.
So it's always good to field and weed out customers, or at least manage their expectations early, catch it in the bud. So that's part of the thing of owning a business, is realizing how to qualify your leads, how to kind of like get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something I struggled with in the beginning of the business, especially when people would try to negotiate. Man, at the beginning of the business, I was the worst with those people. They'd ask for $100 off, and I'd be like, yeah, as long as I got some windows cleaned today, sure, you can have $100 off.
Yeah.
And that's something that took time to learn.
I've got a ton of clients I can throw your way. Okay, cool. When you
Oh,
start throwing
yeah.
your way, you get the discount. Do you team
Yeah.
up with realtors in your area, or do you kind of avoid them because they're vampires?
Could you say that again?
Oh, do you team up with, do you have realtors that call you, or do you kind of avoid them like a vampire? Like,
Yeah, I avoid them. And again, same thing, just like you're saying, at the beginning business, they would always say, "Oh, I can refer you to all my clients," and I'd be happy to do them. I don't think I've gotten a single referral from any realtors, and no joke.
yeah, that's what my wife was asking me this week or last week, a couple of days ago. She's like, "Have you ever tried reaching out to realtors?" I'm like, "Let me tell you about a realtor." And it's always well, they're closing tomorrow and they need like the cheapest price because they don't have any money. It's like, well, then they can't afford it. They should have washed them 7 months ago.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things about the realtors, two things about what we're talking about real quick too, is I noticed also when I first got in, people always wanted to try and shoot me the same thing. Austin, when you're young looking as you are, people always want to beat you up too. And they want to try and get you for whatever it is that they can, or get the best deal on you. So I think the beard probably helps with that. Also, you've been more experienced. You've had your name out there for a while now. So that helps as well. Realtors too, for me, like 2019, 2020, 2021, we had that crazy housing push, right? And every single, I don't know if you were doing this back then, Austin, or not, but every single realtor was trying to sell a house within 24 to 48 hours. And every single person thought that they were the most important person like in the planet. So yeah, they did for a hot minute, for me at least. They were the worst type. Some of them were the worst type of clients. Eventually, I found a couple of good realtors that I teamed up with, and they have been really great referral clients. But yeah, man, some of them can be real, pain in the ass to deal with. Everybody thinks that they're the only person selling a house, or the only person doing something that day. So I totally get that. There's some other things.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I did door hangers yesterday did some 5 rounds and then just kept walking around the block and covered about like 60 houses. And as I was driving home, I stopped a couple times and put them on the house for sale, coming soon type deal. Like if you put your door hanger on the lockbox with, I read the prices down, driveway, windows, house wash, this. So I'm crossing my fingers to see if I get like one nibble out of the 7 I put out on the realtor houses. But it's mainly you want to focus on the customer, because all of them houses look like crap. Like they needed a driveway cleaning, screens were dirty, everything was bad. So yeah, do you do door hangers? Do you market like that at all?
Yeah, we do our 5 rounds. We've tried door hangers. I've tried hiring people over the summer to hang door hangers, like riding around on a scooter, going through the nice neighborhoods.
Sure.
And it's okay. We got okay returns on them. Definitely not as much as I was hoping. Whether that's the problem with the door hangers or what we're hidden, I would have to do more testing to really tell. But man, the worst thing was it's hot in the summer, and that's whenever I want to do them. And it's hard to find somebody like, hey, can you ride around in the hot sun for 8 hours hanging door hangers? And yeah, these guys are like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. It sounds chill. You get to ride a scooter all day, just be outside.
They get 2 hours in and they're like, nope.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, oh man. And that's typically when the windows slow down for me and for most people in Kansas City is the summer.
Yeah.
we stay busy in the spring and fall, but the summer is like our slow season outside of winter, of course.
Same with us. And, we do the door hanger thing too. It's kind of how I got my start. But back then, it was just me that I had to worry about, right? So it was like, I'll just go knock until I get some cash, right? Well, it's a little different nowadays. You have bills to pay for. You have, people relying on you. So the door hanger thing, like if you're just getting started, it totally will work, and it can work, and it does work. It's kind of hit or miss, like you mentioned. So besides the window cleaning, it's LH exterior. What exterior cleanings are you doing? What are you up to?
So a big thing last year for us was gutter cleaning, and on the commercial side mostly. So
Interesting.
my dad joined me as kind of either retire or come work with me, and he's a busybody, so he decided to come work with me. So he's doing business development now.
Hold on. You got your old man. Hold on. You got your old man to quit, retire. Like, hey, he's gonna go retire, and you're like, nope, come work with me, Pop.
It was his idea. His idea. Don't come at me.
All right.
I don't look it. This will make sense in a second. I don't look it, but I'm half Mexican. My dad's Mexican.
Yeah.
He does stereotypical Mexican dude. Does not stop moving. I mean, the hardest worker I know.
That's my tata. My father-in-law.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the thought of retiring to him was like, why the heck would I retire? I can still walk. Why would I retire? So he's doing business development for me now. Gutter cleaning for apartment complexes and communities are huge. And we really just started dipping our toes in that over this past fall of 2025.
Yeah.
And 2026, it looks like we're going to have a lot more of those. Been working on some big pressure washing bits too. I just bought a new trailer with an 8 gallon per minute. Before we were just rocking the 4 gallon per minute, which worked great. But, we need something bigger for these bigger communities.
There you go.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I run an 8 gallon a minute, and you definitely, if you're going to do any commercial or even residential for that matter, it just cuts your time in half. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah. For your gutter blowouts, or do you do blowouts or do them by hand for the commercial? Do you just walk along the edge and just blow them down and clean it up?
Yeah, so we do blowouts. That's all we do, unless it's like really clogged and we need to get in there by hand, obviously. But we use leaf blower as much as we can, and we tell these property managers, we're like, hey, this is the cheapest way we can get it done. Is we just blow it out in the yard, clean up whatever mess we leave, and let the mowers take care of the rest. And the property managers love that. It is not like residential. I tell residential customers the same thing, and they're always kind of iffy about, oh, you're gonna blow that stuff in my yard. But property managers, they just want the cheapest.
Residential. Yeah. Exactly. And you can land it, which, even at 50 cents, 25 cents a foot times 900 or 10,000 feet adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, so you brought up Pops. I checked out some of your social earlier last week. We just came through December, the holidays. You mentioned being Mexican American. I want you to tell people what it's like in December being Mexican American and making tamales, dog. What is the process? How long does that take? I've been doing it for 21 years. This was the first year I hadn't made tamales in 21 years. What is that process like, and what is the joy of having the entire family around and putting that masa and that meat and everything together? I can see the smile on your face. You're probably happy. You didn't expect this one, right?
I did not expect this one. This is a good one. This is cool. This is the 3rd year we've done it. And it's something like, I feel like it's my whole life we've talked about doing, like, oh, let's make tamales. And then, who started us on this tradition of all people is my older brother's wife, who is the whitest girl you would ever meet. And she asked my dad, she's like, hey, Hector, like, I want to make tamales. Can we make tamales? This is, coming up on Christmas. And my dad was like, sure, let's do it. And all of a sudden we made like 20 dozen tamales. And for anybody who's made tamales, it's a bit of a process. I wouldn't say it's, insane to make tamales, but it's a process. Sure. Yes. And you got to make the masa, and you got to mix all your flavorings into it, and you got to put lard in the masa.
Yep.
And you got to put so much lard into it till you take a piece and you drop it in some water and it floats.
Okay.
And that's like the hardest part is putting enough lard into it. You're like, how much fat are in these tamales? It's crazy. But you just
don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Just mix and eat, bro.
Exactly.
I don't really want to know.
I do the Polish tamales, like pierogies.
Pierogies, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a Polish tamale there.
But there's nothing better than homemade when you get that assembly line going too. And typically, usually there's one person who's good at spreading the masa, one person's good at plopping down the meat, one person's really good at rolling. So, it's a great thing to have family around and get that done, and then everybody gets home with a couple dozen. So, I wanted to throw some shine on you and your family for doing that. I think it's a dope tradition. My wife is Mexican, and my wife, and I was going to bring this up earlier. I don't know if you've watched the show or not before, Austin, but oftentimes when somebody drops a my wife, then Deeds likes to pop in, or I pop in, and somebody always drops a my wife. So I was hoping I'd get you to say my wife. Yeah, there you go. Like you did earlier. And Deeds would pop in with the my wife. So yeah, man. So I think that's cool. And I think it's great. I'm super happy for you about your dad joining. I was busting your balls a little bit about it, but I think, to be honest, when you can have somebody like that who's another generation above you that brings something else to the table that you, no offense, you don't have the experience that your pop has. He may not have the experience that you have in this field, but he's got decades more when it comes to networking, friends, you know what I mean? Like all these other things. So I'm sure that he brings an immense value to the table. So props to your pops and props to you for hitting him up and for bringing him on the team, because I think that is amazing. So again, I kudos to you, bro. And
I appreciate that. You mentioned earlier, I was able to handle anything you threw at my way. You came and you were asking me questions and I answer all of them. I definitely get that from my dad. He's the most social person you could imagine. And so, sometimes I'll go out with him and he goes door to door commercial pretty much all day.
Yeah.
And he's confident as can ever be and just can talk to these people. He's got charm to him. And I'm like, man, how in the world do you do this?
Yeah.
And my friends will talk to me and they're like, Austin, like that's you. Like you're not shy. You're not scared. And I'm like, dude, when I walk into a commercial building, I am so scared, so nervous. I don't know what it is. I can go talk to somebody on the streets, but as soon as I want something out of that commercial building, it's like stage fright all of a sudden.
You know what? That's some straight honesty. And you know what? A lot of people in our industry don't have that too. And that was one of the other things that I appreciated about you instantly. I could tell you weren't going to lie to me. Like you weren't going to tell me about numbers. You weren't going to tell me about this. You were just going to be a straight shooter. And I thoroughly enjoyed that, man. And that's why I'm so glad that we got you on. Your pop's name, man. What's your dad's name?
My dad's name is Hector.
Hector, props to Hector. Because Austin is a good dude, and I'm really glad that you are teamed up with him. And I know that you guys are going to continue crushing. What are some of your goals for 2026? If you have goals or resolutions or anything like that.
Our goals are right now just to increase profits a lot more. I mean, I wish I could say my business was like super profitable and I was a millionaire. That'd be far from the truth. I still got to give my dad a paycheck. So, that's more overhead. We don't have as many techs as, some of the other people in the city. So right now it's just to get more techs without increasing overhead, and therefore increasing profits.
All about the numbers, dude. That was the other thing that I was impressed with when I talked to you the first time too. It was like, you weren't boasting your numbers to me, but you had my questions to you were basic. Your questions back and responses were like advanced. And I was like, dude, I've been in this game at that point. I'm at this game like 17, 18, 19 years, something like that. And this young buck is like already dialed in and knows what the fuck he's talking about. Where am I slacking? Like it made me want to up my game, if that makes any sense. Like, so I really enjoy chatting with pretty much everybody. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're always learning from someone, right?
Right.
So, the convention's still like that because you're face to face with people. Everyone's sharing their information and market strategies and not worried about being undercut in their market. So definitely the convention's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was definitely that kind of vibe that night too. The first night that was at Fuse, and a bunch of people had already been hanging out, and then they all left and it kind of quieted down. And it was me, Austin. I think the guy's name is Andy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Andy White.
Out of Colorado?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
out of Bull Shoals.
Where's that? So not
Alabama.
Colorado.
Alabama.
Alabama? All right. Yeah, so Andy, I ran into Andy again too last year. And did you
Yeah.
get a chance to spend time with him?
Yeah, I talked to him a ton last year.
Oh, right on, man. That's so rad, dude. I bumped into him and he's like, "Hey, man, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh shit, what up, dog?"
Dude, he's awesome. He's super nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed having a conversation with him too. I got to track him down. Do me a favor after we get off, or whenever you got a dip, shoot me his info on Messenger. I'd love to chop it up with him again too.
Yeah, he's someone I text back and forth with every once in a while too. Just, hey, what about this? What about this? You ever done a job like this? Hey, I just had this weird customer interaction. Yeah, he's super cool.
I did yesterday I did storefront cleaning for a Pizza Hut, and so I went around my general area up and down a main drag and stopped into a lot of storefronts because I'm like, you know what? I don't have a route. I'm not a route window cleaner, but I might as well be because you can set one up a week, one up every 2 weeks, once monthly. So I went into a couple different places, and one of which was a manicure pedicure space. So I walked in there. The windows are filthy. I walk in, the lady's in the back, like massaging and rubbing some lady's feet. And she's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I give her my spiel real quick. Just notice these windows are dirty. I'm going to leave my card on the desk here. Just give me a call back. I can set it up $25, exterior or whatever." And I could tell that she looked at the lady getting her feet rubbed, and that's like the best time to tell them about your services when they're like cleaning somebody else's feet. You're telling them their shit is dirty. They're like, "Okay, yeah, we call you. All right, we'll see you then." So, if you have to, like, peek into the nail salon, wait till they're rubbing some lady's feet, and then tell them how dirty their windows are, you'll get a positive response. She may never
That's
call,
good.
but at least I had that funny interaction where they looked at each other like the lady's like, "Yeah, you should probably get them cleaned." So good stuff.
Is that an add-on service you provide?
Yeah. Well, I don't do a lot of commercial. I do more like commercial buildings. Like I'll get calls from.
Oh, I meant the feet cleaning.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I just do onlyfeet.com. That's what kind of pays the bills.
Okay, right on.
That's how I pay for my rubbers. But yeah, definitely hit up any strip centers. Do you do any commercial or route window cleaning at all like that? Or do you do?
We don't have a ton of route stuff right now. We do a couple banks, and they pay well, but we've just never tried to grow my route very much.
Same here.
It'll be something that comes with time, I think.
Well, I hear a lot of guys in the groups, mainly like not everybody, but like Steve-O and them who like get their bread and butter on route work and stuff are really good at it. I've just never tried for it. And, two stores is not going to get you rich, but 2 turns into 4 is 8, that's how you really bulk it up and do a whole day. So that's one of my resolutions this year is to try and get a couple of route work, within the 5-mile radius and stay busy that way at least once a month or so.
Yeah. We it's funny you mentioned route work. We have Luke the window cleaner in the chat. We got the chance to bid Quick Trips, which there's 105 locations in the Kansas City area. Luke currently does them. Oh, wow. So that'll hopefully be a great account for us. He's kind of talking nonsense in the chat, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't. So one thing real quick too, I want to hit something on the head real fast. I don't know what other people's beefs are between window cleaners across the country. I don't care. That's none of my business. What my business is to promote some fun, right?
I like that.
And to share some stories and to introduce people to other people. I apologize. Austin has been invited on the show as a guest because I met him 2 years ago and I find him to be fun, interesting, and decent at what he does. Oftentimes shit happens. We don't always know the two sides to the coin. Everybody's got a side to his story. He's been booked for over a week, and I'm not going to, it is what it is. One person might think something is shady. Another person also might tell you a different story. So you guys can hash that out on your own, not on my show.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck. So.
Not my market.
Yeah. And if you guys see something that you guys want to talk about to me when you see the guest list come up, we have had our guest list for the month of January until since the end of December. So if you guys have somebody that's on the list that you want to talk to me about prior to them coming on the show, hit me up. You can let me know what's on the loop. Doesn't mean I'm going to change my policy, or doesn't mean I'm going to change the way I do my show. Pardon me, our show. Yeah, you know what I mean. So we will always represent, spreading the positivity and the love. And I'm sorry that you guys had a little mix up, but this ain't the time or place. So I appreciate you, Luke. And I think that you're a solid dude. And I think Austin is too. There's probably just some kind of misunderstanding. You guys can hash it out at a different time. It's all gravy. And I do think two things. I think a lot of things, but I think that in the industry that we're in, we also get told shit from the people that we're pitching to as well. Like, let's say the QT, for example, I go in, they tell me one thing, and then they tell Austin another, and then I go back to firm up the bid, and then QT tells me this whole shit story about whatever Austin said. So in actuality, there's 3 sides to a story, not just one, not just 2. So that's where we are.
Sometimes the customer bends the truth and stuff and makes.
That's what I was getting at. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Like, well, he's going to do it for $100, so you should do it for 92.
Yeah.
So customers not always right, but
that's where we are on that one. Also, this business fucking sucks sometimes. I mean, it is cutthroat, and we also don't know who we're competing with. Or sometimes we do, and sometimes it is personal, but I don't find it to be that way. I don't know. It is what it is.
I've blocked a lot of my like really close competitors who are within like 9 miles. There's like 4 or 5 that are, up and coming, whatever. So I've kind of like blocked them because I don't want them to see like what I'm posting on social media, et cetera, because I have a public profile. Not that it'll help get rid of them, but I just, try to stay in the dark as far as who I'm contacting, who I'm friends with, because I might friend a lady who owns, a management company and stuff like that. So, but it's also good to be friendly with your competition. Like I've got a bigger company with multiple techs that I've been throwing work to occasionally if I couldn't get to it or I was sick, and they've thrown them my way. So it's a double-edged sword,
For
but
sure.
moving on. So how was your Christmas light season?
Christmas lights were good. We picked up a lot of new accounts. I mean, we did a few of the biggest ones I've ever done. And Christmas is my favorite season. It definitely beats cleaning windows all day, which I like.
Yes.
The only thing that sucks is I'm the biggest baby in the world when it comes to the cold. So I always try to layer up and bring the hand warmers, get gloves, and working with cold hands is not fun. I'm sure Eddie Stewart would have some select words if he heard me say that, but that's all right.
Well, he cleans windows in his underwear in January, so there's
I know.
a polar bear.
I hear he cleans windows in less than his underwear.
He will. He does.
He will.
He always gets it on the glass, gets like smears, smudge that out.
He has a different pocket. He has a different pouch for his squeegees in that month.
Gotta grab the sponge. Oh, Jesus.
Well, let's see here. We had you had mentioned that you had about a hard out at 15 after, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So let's touch on a couple other things. What's your nowadays for when you are window cleaning? Do you have a favorite mop? Do you have a favorite squeegee? Do you have a favorite Boab? What are you rocking these days?
Mop.
We always rock the Boabs from I hate to say it, but the 5 tool from Future of Window Cleaning. They're nice. They're a bit bulky, but they work really well. I haven't had any problems with them. They hold a lot of tools, which is nice. Then we always rock the Mowerman flip pads. So those are nice too. Those are real good for cleaning higher up windows in residential. Don't got to bring the ladder in. Just stick that on a pole, crank through them.
Right on. I've never even heard of that. You have to send me. You have to send me some photos later.
Okay. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. The flick pad, the blue one above. Yeah.
The Boab. I've never heard of that Boab thing. That's pretty neat.
What about you guys? What do you rock?
I'll do the Maker silencer. Been rocking that for 3 or 4 years now, and it's solid. It won't hold multiple washers or strip washers, and then you've got to kind of jingle it around. Sometimes I'll rock the Ninja on the left side, silencer on the right, and I'll keep the channels on the right side, the T-bars and the mop heads and whatever. So I'll clean left hand and then squeegee with the right hand, just if I'm in a hurry or whatnot. Because it's always good to have as much crap on you instead of walking back to the truck or wherever the hell you leave your shit on the lawn type deal. But
Right.
Yeah, I too am a maker guy. I rock the silencer, and my preferred mop is the Scotsman. That's pretty much standard. I have multiple sorbos that I rock on a constant basis. I use every now and again the Etery commemorative. What is it? They have this blue. It's just like a blue squeegee channel. I don't even know. It's something that I picked up when I was in New York. Sean turned me on to it. I like that. It's just an ultra, like a light brass, but it's blue instead. And yeah, I just basically Sorbo is my go-to when it comes to squeegees and channels, but I mess around with the Etery and some Unger from time to time, but I don't have the Ninja. I had one, but I traded it to a kid that I trained a while back. So yeah, it's pretty much strictly maker silencers, my Boab, and my mop as well. So
yeah, I rock the T-bar, the 18-inch Unger Ninja T-bar, so it can like pivot and stuff. That's my go-to number one T-bar, and then I just go to an Unger, one of these bad boys, 12s, and then I use the maker deal, which is in my pouch in the car or truck, for the smaller stuff, the 4 inches, the little tiny French panes and stuff.
Yeah.
What's your favorite rubber?
We use the green Unger rubber. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
But that's what we use all year round. We've tried a couple others and just nothing is as good as that, seemingly, to us at least. Oh yeah.
I got some red action going here.
Is that the facelift, I think, is the red, right? Or the razor or something like that?
Then I've got a pack of not maker. These are, Mormon, the silver editions. Mike Matthews hooked me up with a bunch of these. So I've used these on my 12s, and they're pretty nice. The first one I put in had a crick in them. So I've actually got like this kid's magnifying glass that's like, it's like freaking awesome. So anyway, so I was like going through my rubber, and I found the picture of like a magnified, what causes streaks? What causes this? And all it is just a micro blemish in the line. But it was really neat to put it under a microscope and see what the hell is causing the lines. So yeah, science. It's fun.
Word to your mother.
Janet,
So
any
big plans for the rest of the week? Any big goals? Like I said, for other than like year-long goals, any big goals for the end of the week just to try to smash out?
Really, we're trying to take down Christmas lights right now. It's actually why I gotta leave soon. Got some Christmas lights to take down. My guys will be showing up soon, so that's it. I hope to be done with Christmas lights by middle of next week, and then we can just focus on gearing up for this busy season. That's what you got to do in the off season.
Yeah. Deeds, how many light jobs do you have left?
I knocked out. Oh, he was asking me about my light jobs. I just got the last one uninstalled, I think Sunday.
Nice.
So
yeah, you're pretty much wrapped up then, good to go. And are you either of you planning on making Christmas lights an even bigger thing than you did last year? Are you trying to ramp that up?
I always say, yeah, but in the end, it's so much easier to just roll up and wrap up the customers I do have. I'll pick up, 5 or 6. I picked up 5 or 6 new ones this year, but I've got a big commercial job and then 20 something other lights. So just reinstalling makes me pretty happy. And I was also busier this year than last year doing windows, driveways, and gutter cleaning throughout December. So I was still working, washing. The years prior, I would stop washing to get new customers, but this year I just kind of let it go. I didn't do too much marketing on the Christmas lights. I just got, the neighbor next door. Hey, I see you're doing the lights. How much? And then, going that way. But yeah, maybe next year I'll start doing more commercial because it does pay a lot better. I have a large 1,500 foot church that I do. So I just magnet lights over and over, and it takes me like 2.5 hours to set them up, and then an hour and a half or so to take them down. It's a lot of fun. So if you can get into those magnet commercial light jobs on top of a roof and you can carefully, safely do it, go for it.
Yeah, we haven't done any of those, but those do seem nice.
Yeah,
especially for takedowns.
Yeah, I watched a video on Deeds doing a takedown from the roof, and I'm like, damn, that thing was a massive ass property. And he's like, yep, I'm done. And it was like an hour and a half later, he was done. Just
yep. You label your start and your stop, and you get, I memorized, the boxes from last year, which one goes where, because there was three areas. Long story short is, especially with the magnet and not the clip, you can just lay them out and then set them up nicely, and then it's super easy. So try to sell more magnet metal roofing this year, because it'll take down so much easier. Because like I said, you just give it a little whip and they all pop out onto the roof, a safe distance ish from the edge. And yeah, magnet, that's the way of the future.
Man, the opposite of that is like doing trees. I figure out we did a lot more trees this year, and taking them down, such a pain. I mean, these things take forever to come down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We do some pretty tall ones where we're using our 30-foot pole to hang them up. So we're getting out the 30-foot pole with the hook to reach up there and take them down again. Those suck. It's kill the shoulders too.
My very last Christmas light job I took down, or second last, was magnolia tree with those big fat leaves that are bigger than your hand and like long. And so they kept getting caught up. The mini lights kept getting caught up, and I had to like carefully do it because the customer was like, I just bought that tree last year, so let's be careful with it. So I did nip the tip. I was like hi him. So, I had to dispose of that evidence and flip so you got to be careful with magnolias and those big leafy trees, because they'll swallow up your lights and make it fun to take off.
Yeah. They're the best was we did one set, a couple trees last year that we did this year as well. We showed up to the customer's house, and these are two huge trees, and he had them both trimmed like so much. I mean, there was nothing to hang the lights on anymore. And I was like, he called us back to hang his lights up, and when we got there, we saw them like that. So I called him. I was like, hey, dude, you didn't tell me you trimmed the trees. Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, yeah. I was like, we can't get nearly as much lights on. I was like, can we do a third tree to make up for, the loss of lights? You'll still have the same amount of light, just spread across 3 trees now. So, oh, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Good idea. Quickly had to divert to not, lose the count or cut the account in half, whatever.
Yeah,
but it's great to show up.
Yeah, one customer had 120 feet of light bulbs on their gutters, and they didn't tell me, but they got gutter screens on them. So I had to sit there in the yard and flip from the two shingle tabs. So it was, extra 10 minutes of work, but it was like, damn it. So I hope no more customers get the gutter guards when you got it all mapped out and planned out perfectly.
Dude, the gutter guards suck.
That's what it is.
It's a gutter guard suck. I gotta go do the one person I've done gutters for. I gotta go back to next week. I got a gutter gizmo last year for this one job. It's for a very good friend of mine's dad. So I'll be doing some gutters next week as well. Austin, I know you got to wrap up. What we typically do at the end of the show is we give you a minute or two to give a shout out to anybody, organization, person, whatever. You can shout out yourself. You can shout out whoever the fuck you want. Show some love to whoever it is that you'd like to show some love to.
Man, I'd love to give a shout out to my parents. They both work with me, actually. We never got on the topic of my mom, but my mom actually is doing my admin stuff for me.
Oh, nice.
So she's taking all the phone calls, doing all the scheduling, takes care of all the insurance and the business licensing, the stuff that I don't want to do, to put it blunt.
Yeah.
So it's nice having a family business. I'm sure anybody with a family business can relate to that. It's nice. It's nice being close to my parents, especially, I don't see them as much as whenever I did live at home, of course. So it's nice to be connected with them on a different level.
Yeah, that is pretty
different level. I mean, it could be a double-edged sword working with family. I tell you that one.
Dude, absolutely.
Can't throw a chair at your mom.
Well, you could, but it just wouldn't go over very well. Hector might kick your ass, Austin.
Exactly. Luckily, they're both easy to work with. I don't got to boss them around. They're dedicated. They do their job just fine.
Right on, man. Well, we appreciate you hopping in the show. I know you got to run. If there's anything that we can do for you, give us a shout. Do you know if you will be attending the Huge in Orlando in August?
I'm not sure yet. I'm on the fence after last year. Last year I thought was just okay. I think it'll be a super cool change seeing it in Orlando, but we're kind of just gonna see where we're at come August.
Nice. Gotcha. Well, keep it in mind here. Plan to maybe make adjustments in case you do want to go, and hope to see you there if you make it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your January, and we'll chat soon. All right, my man.
All righty. You guys have a good one.
All right.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day, Austin. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, Deeds.
All
So,
righty, tighty. Yeah,
tighty
so
whitey.
it's what you call it? It's Wednesday. What do you got going on this morning?
Julian got a ride to school from one of the homies, so Marisa doesn't have to take him. I got to do some yoga, cold bath. I got to hit up that storefront. Got to do a couple things. Tomorrow we have 3 houses on the docket, all on the same street. Gotta love that. And then Friday we're doing something too. So I don't know. The schedule just went from being barren to, oh yeah, Billy's out of the house. He'll be out there in 12 minutes. So he's on a house job this morning. I'm doing a little commercial action. Gonna shoot some videos to get some content, do that or whatever. So
nice.
Can I speak from the heart real quick?
Speak it.
All right. Earlier, I wasn't trying to be a dick. There's a little banter going on in the chat. I don't even know if you see it or not, but I just didn't want to have any
StreamYard open.
Yeah, I just didn't want to have any confusion going on with some of our guests. If you guys have some issues with each other, try to take it somewhere else. And I'll happily, like I said, if you guys want to let me know about some of our guests, if you guys want to tell me your stories, your backstories, that's fine too. But let's do it on a private level, so that way, whenever we have a guest on, the focus is on them and whatever it is that we're having a conversation about. I don't want to make the guests, regardless if they are a shady character or not. That's not our goal. I don't want to make anybody.
Yeah, we don't do in-depth background.
I don't want to make anybody look like a douche or a piece of shit. We're humans. We all make mistakes, and we can make ourselves look like douches and pieces of shit just fine on our own. We don't need anybody else to do that. With that being said, I would like to tell Luke I appreciate him, and he is somebody who knows what's going on in the industry. So I would love to hear from him, and I'll definitely reach out later on.
Luke's going to be on the show probably sometime in March or so after the IWCA convention slows down.
I hope so. I hope I didn't just screw that one up. Like I said, I just want to be fair to everybody. If somebody was trying to come in at Luke and say some shit on him, I would do the same thing to him. I would shut that fucking shit down. So, it's just how we roll. I don't know. You guys can think what you want. Take it how it is. I don't know. I'm just going to still be goo and drink my coffee and hang out with my boy Deeds and share some fun stories and hope that we put smiles on some people's faces, right? My grandfather used to tell me one thing, lots of things, but one thing that always stuck in my mind: scratch your ass and get glad. And then the other one was sew buttons on ice and see if they stick. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm always going to remember it. So,
scratch your ass and be glad.
Scratch your ass and get glad, bro. Like, something's bugging you, whatever, bro. Just fucking get over it. So,
scratch the glass and get mad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun either. So
change your razors, everybody. Change those razors because you don't want to
change your
razors,
right?
Yes.
So what's on the agenda for you today?
Today I've got a basic window cleaning. It's going to be just exterior only. They have, I think, one screen, so I got to bring my screen cleaner to do one screen, and then the interior of their front door. Interior door. They've got the big plate glass window up there. So they're like, "Can you do the insides?" Sure can. So going to grab the stack ladders. Going to do some inside window cleaning, but basically just using the water-fed pole. So I've got everything pushed to the corner. So when I'm done here, I can open the garage, load up the truck, and hit the road. And they're in a nice gated community on a lake somewhere here in Katy. So it's going to be a good job. I'm excited. I'll have all my gear skins out, my Zero Pure, the Aztec screen cleaner. It's got all my logos and shit on it so people can see who, what, where, when is doing it. And just hoping to get some referrals, people walking by with their dogs. They see it and go, what is that? So I explain it. Should be a good day. I love doing exterior basic window cleaning because it's all water-fed pole all day long. So I'll walk around. I'll probably just give a nice blow to all the windows, get rid of any cobwebs and spiders and shit that stick. And then to start slinging pure water this morning. So that'll be fun. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go hit up another area. And I'm really thinking I got to start hitting commercial hard because January is the slowest month for me, like the absolute slowest. Like, oh my God, am I going to die slow? So I'm going to get serious about making sure I can get more work and, applying myself, because I've been pretty lazy. I'm a lazy guy. I don't do a lot of marketing stuff like that. I barely follow up with my previous customers. I'll send them quarterly or an email every half year or so. But I need to crank up the juice. Need to get busy. So I'm a window cleaner. I know what I'm doing. It takes me a minute to clean a window, storefront. So I need to apply that and just start selling, because there's a shit ton of dirty windows in West Houston, Katy area, and I'm about to tackle as many as I can. So I'm hitting Vietnamese food places. I'm hitting the Vietnamese foot massage places. I'm hitting the taco Mexican shops, all that stuff. So, the word of today is going to be, perseverance. I'm just going to overcome just being lazy and not really living up to my potential, just being a lazy ass. So that's my problem. But I'm trying to fix it this year. So route work is something I'm really going to hit on, because, all you need is one good route, and you can start, it adds up. Or you get one Wendy's, you get a Starbucks, and then they tell the general manager, and they can fish you out to other ones, not fish the company. So yeah, that's what's on my agenda.
Persevere. That's what we do as small business owners, right?
That's it. Either you get hit and you get back up, or you get hit and then you go work for somebody else. And that's not really an option for me, because I'd really like to continue being Mr. Deeds here in West Houston. So I've got to hit the pavement. I got a lot of window cleaning, like business cards that are targeted for storefronts. They're in the truck, but they basically say storefront, annual or not annual, weekly, biweekly, quarterly. And so it's geared towards that customer. So I've got like multiple business cards. So if you guys, you want to hit up commercial this year, hit up Jill at the WCR Marketing and get some basic, business cards for window cleaning for storefronts. That way you've got a separate stack for, the residential customers. You got commercial, because that way you can outline, what the expectations are, interior, exterior, quarterly. So I'm this morning when I'm done here on my way to the customer, I'm going to swing into an Einstein Bagels that just opened up last month. I gave my card to the general contractor when they were opening it. I did drop my card off to the manager when they opened, like the first day or three. But I'm going to go reintroduce myself again and just pass out the card and say, hey, I noticed your windows are a little dirty. I can help you out with that this week. If you want to get on the schedule, it'd be X, and do what I did yesterday and hope to get the phone ringing, because this takes a couple where, I did route work back in 2021. I had like 5 or 6 customers, and I just gave it up just because it's like, it wasn't my thing. I wasn't enjoying it, but now it's something I can build on and like accomplish. So it's kind of like a goal or a destination for me. My destination is multiple customers. So, all the big names in the industry, they have a lot of storefront work, and the key is just stack them up, because, one day it'll be 20, the next 40, it all adds up. So I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 routes here per, bi-weekly or weekly be awesome. But yeah, that's on my agenda. So starting off the new year on the right foot.
Persevere. What does it mean to you as a business owner? I want to hear about that too. Because Deeds has been through a lot, health-wise, business-wise, pulling back from one paycheck to invest in himself, and you got to just keep persevering. So I'd love to hear more about it. What it means to you, persevere, as a business owner, as a window washer, as an exterior cleaner, as a Christmas light guy, as a gutter guy, as a house washer. What does persevere mean to you? As a parent, whatever. I don't know. Shit. Tell me what it means to you at Goo Gets It on TikTok or in the Goo and Deeds podcast page. Love to hear about it. I guess we're pretty much wrapped up for the day, right?
Wrap it up. Yeah.
Wrap it up. Deeds, who you want to give a shout out to?
Give a shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. Your input, your comments. I don't read all of them because I'm mainly on the StreamYard page, so I can focus on all that fun stuff. But I appreciate everybody. Appreciate you, Jason. Thank you, Austin, for coming on today. Thanks to Kylie for everything she's doing in the background. She makes this easier on us. And thanks to Chris and Alex and everything they do with WCR, Zero and Sorbo. And thanks for everybody behind the scenes there. Your love and support is appreciated big time.
Yeah, for sure. So like Austin was mentioning about his mom and the admin and doing all the stuff that he doesn't want to do. Thank you, Kylie, because you're doing all the stuff that I could not do, even if I wanted to. And Deeds, thank you for all your patience and support. And you are one of the things that you do. That's another, we used to call my Papa Doo-Doo, is you persevere and you push me to get me to do things sometimes that I'm too lazy to do, send out texts, send out emails. So thank you for that. Appreciate all of our friends who pop on and let us know what's on their minds. Again, this is a free forum. We do want to let people speak their minds, but we're going to try and do it in a cool manner. Please, I do want to hear what people have on their minds too off air. You guys can hit me up. You know where I'm at, Jason Gulick on Facebook. You can find me in all sorts of different socials. You can call me 602-554-2804. You can shoot me a text, whatever it is, however you want to chat. I'm here for it. We've all been through the stuff. We've been through the ringer. I know that from time to time, we've probably been the guy who's accidentally snaked something from somebody or had an employee do some shady shit. So let's give each other some grace. Let's treat each other with some kindness and respect until that last kindness and respect has been pushed too far. I get it. So let's treat each other well.
I had a local competitor that I work with, friendly, that they had to fire 2 of their techs on the same job because they were taking selfies standing on a windowsill off the ladder, and there's like a 3-inch windowsill. So yeah, sometimes you got to make rash decisions, fire and hire and stuff. But she told me about it, but I didn't use it against her, like telling my customers, well, this other guy's got guys swinging off the ladders and stuff.
Well, I'm not here to discount. I'm not here to discount what has been said either. We're about the love, baby. We're about the love. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Let's persevere through a little hiccup. Let's say hi to Bob the dog, and I hope everybody too. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Deeds always tells you one thing:
change your rubbers.
And I always tell you, I hope your passion bucket's full. And if it's not, get at me. We'll help try to figure out a way to get that passion bucket full, boys and girls. Take care. Be well. Stay up and stay gold.
Have a good morning, everybody.